Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome. Actually, I just realized I should probably turn down my fan so that it isn't so loud. That will hopefully just be a bit of white noise. But hello, welcome, friends. Hi, help. I'm still at the restaurant, still sitting in the corner I haunt. Bonjour, Sam. Welcome. Today we are doing a writing sprint, mostly because I am stuck. I'm good. Did you change your name on YouTube? I can tell it's you because of the I instead of the Y's, Lisa. Although maybe somebody else has a broken keyboard too. Okay, I like that. Okay, do you want to be called Sam or Lisa? Let me know. New names. Okay, I'll go with Sam then. Today, hello, Pitch is here. I think we might as well jump in. No, it is me. What I'm saying is, you want to be called Lisa or Sam? Either is fine. I have written the big scene. Call me Sam today, but it will change most likely. Thank you, though. Absolutely. Okay, so today I have written this way. I have written the big scene, the big climax scene of my story. And now I need to figure out how it's going to end. I have all the scenes that I think are necessary, but I don't know how to build it out. So I am feeling a bit stressed at the moment. Yes, the big scene. So I guess spoilers. This is all at Café con Leche. A arrives. Alejandra arrives. Natalie tries to tell A about M. Megan gets interrupted by Ale telling her about the night she spent with M, and is about to spill the beans when Rosa and Joaquin enter. Rosa asks Ale where she was last night and to tell her father. Before A can answer, R reveals that she knows that she left with Megan last night and stayed over at her place without Natalie. A actually owns up to the fact that she has been repressing these feelings for a long time, and that falling in love with Megan has made her brave. R reveals that the only reason M is there is to use her because she works for Big Coffee and is probably using her to get customer information for Big Coffee in the Valley. Natalie confirms that M does work for Big Coffee. Alejandra asks Rosa what she was doing at Big Coffee in the first place. R reveals that she went there because she didn't think CCL under A's control had a chance, and she needed to step in to get Big Coffee from opening in the Valley or to buy out her debt. She's the one who reached out to the bank. Alejandra tells Rosa that it's not her shop that failed, but her vision, like Rosa's vision. Ever since A stopped trying to do her mom's version, CCL has been thriving. R tells her she's so ungrateful since Rosa and Joaquin put their home in Chile as collateral, and without it, CCL wouldn't have even existed. A tells R that CCL was on the verge of closing, and it was her drinks and vision that finally turned a profit. And CCL is her dream, her coffee shop. A and R both ask Joaquin to step in. Ale asking Joaquin if he knew about what R did, and if he also didn't trust her. Did Alejandro the song survive? Yeah, it's my Act 1 closer. This is Act 2. We're in Act 2 now. But he also doesn't trust her and are asking Joaquin to side with her. As Joaquin is about to answer, Megan enters. Natalie punches her square in the face, calling her a traitor, while Kevin pulls her off. Natalie turns to... Natalie turns to Kevin and spits at him, also feeling betrayed by him, asking how long he knew and if everything they talked about was a lie. Ale asks Megan if it's true, and she admits that it was. A tells Megan that she never wants to see her again, As she's about to explain what happened, Ali slaps her and breaks down crying. I'm assuming Megan exits. I can't figure out exactly how it plays out. Ali slaps Megan. Megan exits. She breaks down crying. Rosa tells her that this is what happens when you don't do what's right. Rosa goes to stand next to Joaquin and tells her that due to her actions, she needs to move out and can no longer live with them under the same roof because of her way of life. Alejandra asks Joaquin if that's how he feels too, after all he said yesterday, because he was like, go live out what you think is best for you. R grills him about what they talked about yesterday and why he didn't mention any of it to her. And as it builds up, Joaquin faints. A and R run towards him, and that's the end of that scene. So it's like a big build up and a build and a build and a build. So I need to now build my way out. I have some ideas on scenes I want to do. But I think for this first sprint, I'm going to be doing some research into what I think is some of the best functions of that scene, which is Crazy Stupid Love. So I'm going to read up on that right now and do that. Let me know what you are going to be working on. And let's just start this thing, because I have so much to do and so little time to do it. So let's get started. Help, I'm still at the restaurant, still sitting in the corner I haunt, cross-legged in the dim light.
You can't buy love or happiness, but you can invest in it with T. Rowe Price.
Come back and get credit for the work you've put in at Purdue Global. With your experience and college credit, your degree may be up to 75% complete. Start your comeback at Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Apply now.
All right, gang, we are on break. How did we do? Let me put up the question. What are you working on? So right now, as y'all type your responses to share with the class, I am still working on Act 2 timeline. I'm trying to figure out how the next steps work. I think I have like a big number of scenes that I want to try out, that I think are important. I just came up with something. Hold on. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how it's all going to flow together, because I think that I have all the pieces, but I don't know if I have them in the right order to create like the biggest effect. So that's what I've been working on. I have so little time, but I know that the minute that I figure out this exact outline, I'll be able to get started and really write what I need to, because this act 2 is very fast. And it's just stacks on stacks on stacks of information. So once I have everything figured out, it's going to work great. All right. Let's see. Sam said, I did watch CSI, so I did pretty good. That's great. Enjoy this time. Hang out with us. You don't have to do writing. Hanging out with us is just as good, to be honest. But do tell me what you're doing. I honestly wish that were me. Nat said, not a damn thing. You're watching the Eras Tour. That is something. Sam says, I do have to go to bed though. Good night, Sam. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Pixels by Chris is here. Hi, Chris. Pixel says, working on my fic for my first ever fanzine. I've never been in a fandom long enough to feel comfortable applying for a zine, but my friend has, and he's making his own now. I love that. For what fandom? Let us know. Love you all. See you later. Good night, bestie. The only fandom that I've ever felt so passionate about that I would love some fandom of is My Hero Academia. I want Miss Joka and Aizawa to end up together. If you're a manga current, do not talk to me. That's just always been my OTP ever since I saw them together in season 3. I'm sorry, Mike and Aizawa shippers. I'm not buying it. I am not fucking buying it. One Piece? How exciting. How do you even choose to write a fanfic for like a manga that big? Let me know your thought process. Let me know what you're doing. I am so excited. I gotta keep running this timer. I keep forgetting that the timer is actually supposed to run, for like a break. Miss Marin, in the background, that's Miss Marin. Marin is my roommate, Pat. My roommate not come home tonight. Yesterday, Miss Marin was here, so I didn't hear. On the table, you know better. Yeah, let's Miss Marin. Ma'am, no. Don't eat that. He has never jumped on my desk like that. Also, I've never picked her up. Those are first notes for everything. My music levels again. Okay, now it's low. I don't know why that's so high. Yeah, Miss Marin literally jumped on the table. She has never done that before. But also, again, I've never picked her up before either. So there is a first time for anything. I do think she's a bit grumpy. She's like, it's 1 a.m. I'm ready for fucking bed. And honestly, same, bestie. Pixel says, Chris says, for One Piece, it's a matter of catching up to a certain point and writing an AU like this one. Soulmate AU. I love AUs. I love AUs so much. Like I always say, Cafe con Leche was born out of a coffee AU. It's like all original characters and not based on anything. But I was reading an Aizawa joke coffee shop AU, and I was like, I want to write a story in a coffee shop. And that's essentially what sparked the idea for this musical. It's like all original characters, though. So every time I tell that story, I'm worried people are gonna be like, who did you like shave the or like scratch the? No, it's like these are all original characters. But I love the coffee shop AU so much that I just wanted to set this in a coffee shop. Like romance novels. Sorry, everyone. I accidentally clicked something and it went backwards in time. Let's see if this works again. It does not. Now I have to figure out how to do this again. I think she did it, but I just can't prove it. There we go. Okay, let me know if you're here and you're alive. Pixel says, I'm a really fast manga reader, about 30 to 40 minutes max per volume, and I have all 4 of the current box sets. Wow, that is surprising. I didn't realize you could go through it that far, if that makes any sense. Nat says, you've never picked her up before? So you haven't experienced cats are liquid full yet. No, I'm afraid to touch her belly. I know that cats don't like that. Is anyone out there? Let me know if y'all are alive. I was gone. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Chris says the AU is writing. I'm writing his countdown timers. Mine is that you have a timer on your wrist that counts down so you meet them. So, like, do you die when you meet someone, or it's like we've been holding off for a while to meet them, and like it's how much time you have left before you meet your soulmate. Interesting. Chris says different colors for if you do or do not meet them during your lifetime, though. Wait. So is this like a reincarnation soulmates thing? Damn, that's rough. Can you imagine living a lifetime and you don't share that with your soulmate? Rough. Some cats love belly rubs, not Marin. She'll lay on her tummy, and then I did the like dummy mistake of like rubbing her belly, because like when Jack goes on his back, that means that he wants me to pet him on his back. But that was not what Miss Marin wanted, like at all. So I've yet to figure her out exactly. Cats are odd creatures. All right, we have 13 seconds left. Now is the time for you guys to get drinks, to get water, because we gotta jump into the next one. What should we ask? Oh no, not an ad. Not an ad. It's an ad. LA, London. What shall we ask? I don't know. Let me think. Do you have a pet? If so, what are they? And what is their favorite thing? Ooh. Cats do that sometimes. It's like playing, sometimes not. I don't think she's a playful girl, but she likes playing fetch, funnily enough. That is her favorite game. All right, friends, it's loading up. Let's freaking go. Here's the question. Answer it.
Overwatch is a completely different kind of multiplayer FPS with more than 35 heroes, over 100 different abilities across 23 different maps.
All right, friends, how did we do? I need to finish this thing that I'm writing. 1 second. Ah, fly scared me. Okay, how did we do? I think I'm cracking it. It's not perfect, but I think I can get it out. Also, look how small my pencil is right now. Like, I'm obsessed with pencils at the moment. And if this is a spoiler. This is a spoiler. Well, I give everyone the chance to answer the pet question if you've just got in. But I'm currently holding all the pens I've gone through this year. Oh my god, not the free Q-tips ad. They're actually not that easy to see. But these are the 3 small pencils that I've gone through this year so far. This is going to be the next one. I have 2 that are almost going to be done as well. It's been a lot of writing. I'm hoping Max is going to get me like a little extender so that I can get these pencils like all the way small, like as small as possible, because writing with a really small pencil actually hurts my hands. But I have loved doing this because even when I feel like I'm not like moving forward, seeing the size of the pencil decrease does make me feel like time has passed, you know? So the question, it happened again. I'm so sorry, everyone. I just have this mouse that let me put it here. Yeah, I just have this mouse that is like so touchy because it's a Mac mouse. But the question was, do you have a pet? If so, what are they? And what is their favorite thing? So I have a pet. They do not live with me right now. Jack is my dog. He's currently being fostered by his tios right now. These are Blackwing pencils. Okay, anyway. So his name is Jack. He's 3 years old, half Scottish Terrier, half weenie, the love of my life, my son. They are unfortunately not with me in New York because I couldn't find an apartment. And I did not want to give them up. Like, oh my God, it kills me. Like, living without Jack right now absolutely kills me. But hopefully I'll be able to get him during the summer, and I'll be able to keep this apartment if it all goes super well. And it's just one of those things, man. His favorite thing is probably burrowing. This man wants to always be under a blanket. His favorite treat, though, is like literally like a hot dog weenie. Or like, I mean, there's so many things he loves, but like a hot dog weenie, man. You can make him do anything for food. He loves treats. And then this is Marin. She is not my pet. She is my roommate's pet, but she is my third roommate, I consider her. My roommate isn't home a lot with her current job, so I essentially take care of Marin for right now. She's so sweet. She is, I think Nat told me she was a tortoise shell or something. She's also 3 years old. She's super cute. Her name is Marin, and her favorite thing are hair ties. This woman will do anything for a hair tie, like 100%. All right, on the list, we got Pidge with Burbs. They love Seebs. That is all. Chris says, I don't have a pet. I live vicariously through friends and family members. Right now, I am living through like my friends who are fostering Jack for me this year. They send me photos of my boy, and I'm just living through those photos right now because I miss him so much. Pixels Chris says, when it comes to pencils, I love using the Palomino Blackwing pencils. They're honestly a bit pricey for a pencil, but they're also nice to look at and worth it. I bought like a Blackwing set. I don't know if I have a Palomino. Let's see. I have the natural. I have pearl. I have half the pressure, twice the speed, Blackwing 602. And I have the Blackwing matte. I got them in like a cheap set from Amazon because I wanted to try the pencil. I find that the pencil is such high quality that it sort of gets in the way if you have like a low quality paper. So like, for example, I'm using this Leichtturn, I think it is the kind of brand. Shit, I don't fucking know. It's a Leichtturn 1917, which is a very high quality paper. This is my CCL notebook, so everything that I'm working on or studying or taking notes on for the musical is going in here. And so when I have this beautiful high quality Blackwing pencil, the difference is amazing. It's like beautiful to write on it, but the paper is so good that I can be writing with like not a cheap, this is usually these are Barnes & Noble's pencils. I can't speak for these. But for example, this one is a Ticonderoga, like a Dixon soft lead one. And this writes just as well. The writing experience is just as good. And I can't find the pencil that I have that is like literally like 50 cents. And it writes great. But I have this cheap dollar composition notebook I literally got at the dollar store. And it is honestly not as good to write with these high quality pencils because the paper just isn't that good. And so it's honestly easier, at least like a lower quality pencil, to write with like a lower quality pencil than it is to write like with a nicer pencil. And most people wouldn't feel the difference, but I write everything in pencil now. I'm in like my pencil era. So I find that it really is mostly about the paper. You could use pretty much any pencil and it'll be the same. So I don't know. Let me know if you agree or disagree. My favorite thing right now is that I'm trying to go through all these pencils because like I just love buying new pencils. And I used to buy mechanical pencils, but those last forever. You just buy like lead and you don't get the joy of like finishing a pencil. So I live in New York City, which means I have access to a lot of like Japanese stationery from like Japan, especially if you go into like Midtown and stuff. And so I have my eye on these like really beautiful like Japanese pencils. So I can add them to my collection of how many pencils I wrote this year. I think it's just a cool thing to keep track of, you know? And I love like going to like places and getting like a pencil. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like I went to the NYU store today and I didn't do it, but like because I have so many, but like I already know that I'm going to be buying like an NYU pencil, for example. It's just one of those things. Pixel says, I refuse to use stationery or anything really if I don't think it looks nice. I can afford to use nice things in my daily life. So why should I relegate myself to using ugly things? I 100% agree. I think more than anything, I'm always looking for like bang for my buck. So like I'll pay for a Blackwing pencil if I think they're worth it. And I saw this TikToker use them for like score study, and I was like, okay, I've never even heard of this pencil. Let me try it. And I'm happy that I did. They're a good quality pencil, but I've yet to find like my holy grail pencil, I guess. And I think it's because I think it's mostly about paper. Like this has become my holy grail notebook. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like I know any pencil will work just as fine. I use the pearls too. Woohoo! I also have the limited edition 64 comic book ones and the 651, the Bruce Lee ones. Ooh, I want to try like all the Blackwing pencils. I think it's also for the brain. Like I love this one because it's like my to-do list, but I know it's $1, which means I can like fuck this up and make it look like bad. You know, whereas like with this one, I'm like, I do write everything down, but I do want things to look okay. Because this is something that I know I'm going to be keeping for a long time, for like years to come. Nat says, as someone with tiny, tiny handwriting, I'm stuck with mechanical pencils. I wrote this with my pencils, like really, really tiny. The trick for me is that I always have a sharpener. So I keep my points super thick. Or sorry, super thin, if you can see it there, like super, super thin, because I love writing really precise. But also I do keep them thicker if I'm doing like more like line work or whatever, you know? Pixel says, I have limited edition Castle in the Sky mechanical pencils, and I have a really nice Sailor Moon pencil from Japan that's buttery smooth. Ooh, I would not be able to resist. Because holy crap, that is tiny for a regular pencil. Yuppers, I can get really small with a regular pencil. And I do think it, like, look at this. Like that was all with regular pencil. So my trick is really just having a sharpener. I don't know, there's just something about the feel of it that I like. Let me ask, what is your favorite stationery? If not a stationery person, what is your favorite app? Answer both if you have an answer for both. All right, here's the next question. Wow. I don't know what the brand is for the Sailor Moon pencil, which makes me sad because I would use it exclusively. I love it that much. I always use a metal sharpener for my pencil. Oh my God, link me a metal sharpener. I have found that sharpeners are actually key to a good pencil experience because a cheap sharpener will ruin a pencil. I went through that problem already. Okay, let's get started with the next sprint. I'm going to actually go away real quick. Let's load it up. Answer the question and let's go. Let me turn the music back on, actually.
Shell Renewable Race Fuel. Reducing emissions by 60%. We're moving forward with IndyCar because we're moving forward with everybody. Shell, powering progress.
Hi, I'm Peter, the Chief Tree Planting Officer at Ecosia, the search engine that uses its profits to plant trees. Together with a team of
Okay, I'm back. I hope you didn't have to listen to that ad that long. How are we doing? Bitches, I know y'all are not that, but bitch, I am a scene away from finishing this Act 2 outline. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. I'm going to be able to start writing. I'm going to write. I'm actually going to fucking start writing. Ah! Okay, so actually what we're going to do is I'm going to continue this sprint because it's almost done. So I'm just going to finish. Okay, I'm just going to finish. So everyone push through for like 3 more minutes. I'm going to mute myself. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Answer the question. Any and all stationary. Drop it in the comments. end of play. Ah! We did it. We did it. It finally fucking happened. End of play. 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 Oh God. It's the outline. It's only the outline. The outline is done. I still have to write this, but this I can write. Oh my God, let's go. Let's fucking go. Woo! Okay, I can't. Let's go. It's not perfect, but Act 2 exists, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Act 2 exists. That's it. That's it. If I'm being real, this musical needs to be done in 6 days, like a rough draft of it. And now that Act 2 is done, it's time to just go. It's time to just take it to town. Oh my God, I can't believe an Act 2 exists. Okay. Woo! Tell me how you did during your sprint. Oh my God. I'm literally lightheaded. Okay. The question. This feels very reminiscent to me writing my first draft in like February of 2021. A lot of you guys who are here were actually here for that 2 years ago. So it's crazy. It's so crazy that we're here again. A functional draft is going to fucking happen. Okay. What was the question that I asked? Shit. Where'd it go? Not the pet one. Here we go. What is your favorite stationery? If not a stationery person, what is your favorite app? Answer both if you have an answer for both. Okay, my favorite stationery, as I've talked about right now, I'm currently obsessed on the pencil, but like actual pencil. But to be honest, like my favorite stationery, that's hard because I love stationery so much. Like I love Post-it notes. I love pencils. I'm really particular. I'm really loving this particular notebook. It is a no lines, like clear page, Leuchtturm 1917. I love this notebook. I'm going to be exclusively writing on this notebook from now on until I fucking die. But the thing that I'm currently obsessed with are highlighters. I have bought these ones, which have been with me for a couple years now, but I have bought one set of new highlighters within the last like month. And I have like a list of highlighters. I love like beautiful pastel muted highlighters, and I'm just never going to have enough of them. And especially with the work that I do, when I'm going like line by line on a script, like this is my script, like I am using those colors, baby. So they really help. So anyway, highlighters. My favorite app right now, probably GoodNotes. I know it's not like it's like kind of stationary based, but it's not. I love GoodNotes, but my favorite app is actually a game app. And it's called Domino Drop. I got this for free as a Starbucks reward back when Starbucks rewards had apps, and had apps as rewards, and that was my fucking favorite thing. That's my favorite app. I have had it like so long. You guys have no idea how long I've had that game on my phone. All right, I'm excited to see what you guys say. I'll link a pencil sharpener in the Discord when I can. I'm very excited to look at that. Oh God, gotta mute that. And it always seems to you. We have one sprint left. Oh my God, it's already 2:30. We're not going to stay up for much longer. Just one more sprint. Nat says, my favorites are probably my grandfather's old drafting work supplies. So I use most of it. No, but I have supplies for days and cool drafting stencils. Cool. I love drafting pencils. They're so freaking nice. My favorite paper is Tomo River paper. It's extremely wonderful for phantom pinning, and I don't mind how see-through it is. For apps, I use Notion. I have a dedicated setup and everything. Ooh. Set a fucking screenshot to the Discord, baby. Also, oh my God, Taylor Swift did Exile. The Evermore performance was so good that it's honestly become my favorite live performance. Okay, I just figured out my Discord notifications were completely off. No, yeah. It's. I guess I don't know if YouTube notifications work well either. Shit. Chris says I don't need to have my fig turned in until January, but with how my writing is either 0 or 100,000, so I'm really worried if I don't get it done soon, I'll be late. Ha ha ha. Hope the stream lasts for a bit. That's very much me. Like this summer has been like writing, because I know that it'll be like a drought in terms of time. I get that. Follow your muse. Joe says, Mike, I need to know what you mean by stationery, paper, notebooks, pens. I have an unhealthy addiction to washi tape. Ooh, I really try to get into washi tape, but it's so sticky and I never know exactly how to use it. So I don't. I love stickers. I put them on my iPad or on like notebooks and stuff. But good stickers are so hard to come by. Like not like little stickers, but like stickers that I'll see the outside world. Joe says, every time I go to Cortland, I have to go to Collage because their wall of washi is a site to wall of what? Drop it in the Discord. What is that? Joe says, for bullet journals, I like Archer and Olive. For regular work notebooks, I stick with Moleskine. I love Archer and Olive. The best Bujo I've ever had was an Archer and Olive notebook back when I used to do Bujo. But Bujo just does not work for me. I prefer a cheap composition notebook, I have learned, because it's got to be like something that I feel really comfortable destroying. And Archer and Olive is such a high quality notebook that I'm just like, I just can't do it. For everyday pens, I love Pentel RSVP. That's what I got too. And that is one chunky kitty. I love to see it. Mine are all chunky monsters. She's so chunky. I think she actually looks chunkier than she is. She's quite thin, in my opinion. That is Marin. She is my roommate's cat. And the reason we're streaming today is because my roommate is not in town. If it was like, it'd be way too late right now to be streaming if she was here. But she worked late tonight, so she stayed over at her friend's. My God, I love these explicit like breakdowns. Chris says, when it comes to non-fountain pens, I outright refuse to use anything that's not a Pentel Energel. I love these vibes. Every ballpoint and roll ball I've ever used skips and railroads and hates me. Ooh, beef. I think this is my favorite ink pen. It's a Zebra 0.7 millimeter. This is like my, oh no, it was open the whole time. It's my favorite like ballpoint pen ink. And then I have a favorite ink, but I went through a really intense pen phase a couple years ago, and right now I'm just not feeling pens at all. So it's either pencils, regular or mechanical, or fountain pens. Damn. Joe says, I'll have to try that one. I like the RSVPs because they don't skip and they spin nicely in my hand. True. Marin is a queen. She really is. The Pentel Energel have some really cute barrel designs. I highly recommend the Energel Klena if you like cute pens with thin lines. Okay, drop all these recs in the Discord, please. Ooh. Now that is a hint. I know. I feel that. No sense of time. Like, I can't, part of me still thinks that 2021 was 2020. The only thing about 2021 that I remember explicitly is like the act one of the musical, BMI, even though that was like in 2022. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Shit. Yeah, 2023 is this year. We're in August. Yeah, no, BMI was in 2022. Shit. Wow. Oh my God. What? I am all sorts of fucked up. Yeah, I don't remember anything. Mild liners are my favorite. Absolutely. I meant to learn to. Yeah. There's nothing like those Germans with their stationery. Have you played the new Hello Kitty Animal Crossing knockoff? I have not. Where can I play that? I'd love to do that. So I'd love to have a whole video to show you how my whole setup. Oh, please. Please. Is it still not 2020? That's what it feels like to me, honestly. Except I'm going back to school and like no one's wearing a mask. So it feels like 2023 feels like a very clear year to me in my head. So much happened in 2023 to me that like I'm going to remember 2023, but 2020 to 2022, no idea when that happened. Apple Arcade. Interesting. All right, guys, let's jump into this last sprint. I don't know. I'll try and it's already 2:30. All right, let's just push through. It's only 25 minutes. Let's get it. All right, friends, we are done. That is it. Whew. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is a very little pencil now. This is like a full size one. So she put in a lot of work for this act 2, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that for her. I can't believe we indeed hit end of play. Yeah, no, we did. We absolutely did. Which is so crazy to think about. Like, it's not every day that you wake up. It's a song I wrote. It's called It's Not Every Day, but it goes like this. It's not every day that you wake up. Do, 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 do. I'm just staying up all night, praying for a little luck. It's so funny. I shouldn't quote myself, but I feel that song. It's such a happy song, but I did write it about like a Supreme Court induction Supreme Court induction, Supreme Court ruling. So you know how it'd be. Anyway. How did you guys do? Like I said, I'm really catching up with my Instagram. It's because my vlogs are so far behind. Also, my new vlog is coming out tomorrow. If you want to see it early, go check out my Patreon. It's only $1 a month. And if you think you're subscribed, make sure you are, because Patreon did some weird thing. But yeah, at this point, just make sure that, if you want to see that video, but like my vlogs are so far in the past. They're over a month now in the past. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you want to know what I'm doing, make sure that you are following me over on my Instagram. I will link it here. Maybe it'll work. Instagram.com/MaigaVidal. Doug, hi, welcome. Or Micah Vidal, just like that. Then you guys can see what I'm working on, because I post a lot of writing updates because I'm bored, and it gives me dopamine when you guys give me little hearts. So if you're not following me on my main one, do that. I know some of you follow me on my private, but do follow me on that and give me your little hearts. So yay, Tag, thank you so much. Thank you for your sub. We just broke 1,400. I've been trying to break 1,400 for a long time. So I'm just happy that it finally happened. So anyway, yeah, my to-do list looks a bit more manageable now. This was today. This is now. I got a lot done. But more importantly, Act 2 is finally outlined, and it's take 2 Electric Boogaloo for this draft of Café con Leche, which is very exciting. I know that I'm going to keep working on this during the year, but having a draft that I can go in and fix a little bit every day, or even if it's just one day a week where I'm working explicitly on my show, I'm very thankful for that. Let me read some of your comments. Nat said, okay, I started following you on YouTube around January 2020. I remember getting a notification for your Halsey songwriting challenge. Yeah. Who was she? It's become a golf pencil. It's honestly my favorite things to do, these little small pencils. I'm honestly so hyped. My next pencil is this one. So I'm very much looking forward to starting my Purple Odyssey. I'm flip it upside down though, so that I remember. Joe says, I had this intrusive thought that 1989 Reputation and Lover follow the 3-act structure, and I think I need to outline this because it won't go away. I hardcore agree. I think, and this is like my genuine opinion, when I was writing the opening number for my musical, attempting to do that during March, I listened to Welcome to New York by Taylor Swift. That is the perfect opening number. You get the character's big wants. It's a great little chorus song with the, it's a new soundtrack, I could dance to this beat. You could have literally everyone sing that line and have it feel like a genuine forward progression. And then the boys and girls, that's 4 characters right there. So yeah, I'm a big believer in this. Reputation is one of my not so great albums, but I do think New Year's Day is a really strong Act 1 closer for a musical, which means that that'll be the end of Act 2 in the 3-act structure. And Lover is the greatest breakup album to ever exist under like this pop facade, and I love Lover. I do think Lover is a bit overly long, so I do have my dream cut of Lover where it's just like Lover no skips. But yeah, I 100% agree, and you 100% need to outline it. Like honestly, my favorite thing, like I think one of the things that that I love as someone who's going to be studying like musical theater writing is that I will hopefully one day get paid the big bucks to work on a jukebox musical as like the book writer, the person who's going to develop the story. And I'm just like, Taylor Swift, hire me. Although, like, I'm gonna be honest, John Mayer, hire me. I could bring this man back from the dead. I could do it. He's my problematic fave, okay? Here's an even hotter take. I think that what would take Evermore's It's Time to Go up to the fucking stratosphere is a John Mayer guitar solo. It's never going to happen, but I absolutely know that it would be life-changing. And that is what makes me a millennial, honestly. It's not like, because I'm 94, right? So it's like a cusp year. But it's not like that I'm cringe. It's that I love John Mayer. And I don't even like any of his fucking singles. Continuum is a good album. But anyway, Joe, do it. I have given so much thought to jukebox musicals because writing a story around songs is actually the hardest thing. It's much easier to write a story and then write songs after, which is why I'm very much writing like the play before the song. But yeah, no, you need to absolutely do it. Welcome to New York was made for a jukebox musical. Absolutely. And I know that Taylor Swift, is going to do the Carole King thing, like 100%. I really hope that, and I know that Taylor Swift is probably better than this. And I do believe that Taylor Swift will attempt to write the book of her own musical or like co-write the book of her own musical because she is kind of, going into directing and into writing. So I do see her going into like this more classical, like screenwriting, musical theater writing approach of like writing the script. I can totally see that happening. Less Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Joe says, I wrote half my trilogy to Reputation. I only listened to it while writing. Literally me. I have written, the first draft of CCL was written to Adentro by Ricardo Arjona, no skips. I listened to that album so much. I made it to the 0.1% of top left listeners of Ricardo Arjona. Like, it was me. And I think this year with Taylor Swift, it's like, I am going to be fighting a lot of people, but I know that I'm going to be like a top listener this year, maybe like 1%. At least I'm trying, because right now I'm on my Evermore phase. This Act 1 was written by listening to Lover. And this Act 2 has been written purely on Evermore. And I just haven't made my way into like the re-recordings yet. So like I still have Red and Speak Now to get through, like I've never heard those in full, just the singles. JC, hi, you're still here. Yes, we're checking out. Just FYI, since you were here last night, I finished outlining Act 2. So let me pull it up. We do indeed have end of play. So I was able to finish with today's stream, which means that tomorrow I get to write actual words. Amazing. Everyone go follow JC if you haven't yet. Joe says, okay, next time we talk about the trilogy of the Regency Christmas Roman Savellas I'm writing. Yes. Why haven't we talked about this already? I will be doing pop-up streams pretty often as I'm ramping up to head to school. I don't know if I'll be doing them during the school year. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But if you like pop-up streams at like random hours or you're just like hanging out, turn your notifications on. Because it's literally going to be a pop-up where I'll be like, I'm streaming in 30 minutes. That's the vibe. There's no scheduling here. Just chaos. Nat says, I was obsessed with this indie and First Records years back. Why does he have to suck so much? I think that John Mayer does a very like Hispanic man singer-songwriter trick. And that's that the songs reveal how he feels, and that's not how he actually is in the real world. I think those are two separate things. I find Why Georgia to be one of the greatest songs ever. I Heavier Things is like my John Mayer deep cut. It's one of those things where he's the one artist. I'm like, yeah, he's problematic, but he's like, he means so much to me that I just, you know what, if that's what gets me canceled, then that's what gets me canceled, sort of thing. And ultimately, to me, it's like the Peter Pan syndrome is so intense with artists. And as someone who is like nowhere near to that level, but who has worked with successful people in their lives, they're very much like regressed, even though and so it's like, it's such an interesting conundrum because it doesn't excuse what he does. It just explains it. And like, it's such a weird fucking thing. I have a lot of mixed feelings because I think that John Mayer's writing is not only smart, but really emotionally relevant and dense. Especially his early work. I feel like now he's having fun. I mean, he's in his 40s. Like, it's a completely different vibe. But his early 20s work is, and even up until his 30s, like Born and Raised is my favorite John Mayer album. If you like Evermore, you'll love Born and Raised. They're cut from the same cloth. So, I mean, I could talk about this all day, but TLDR, like, this is the sort of thing that makes you reconsider like who the artist is. Because I think for me, if you were to look at my work, you'd be like, oh man, but she's so dorky in person. You don't really get that kind of depth. So I don't know. I don't know these people personally. I don't really side with that sort of beef. Would Have, Could Have, Should Have is a devastating fucking song. I'm just so happy I didn't have to live through the recancellation of John Mayer, because I was there the first time. Thank you, JC. You're so sweet. I hope things have been going well. I watched your latest vlog. I'm sending all my love to you. Everyone, JC has a GoFundMe. Go check it out if you haven't donated yet. Nat says, yeah, his songwriting and personality are completely different. Why Georgia? Truly. I mean, I think the minute he stopped drinking so much and he medicated his anxiety, which was after the whole Taylor Swift cancellation, like Taylor Swift breakdown Playboy cancellation debacle, was truly when he mellowed out and like grew up. He like really grew up. That's why Born and Raised is my favorite album. It's like this man grew up, and so much of those songs are just like affirmations of like, I'm a good man with a good heart, went through a rough time, got a rough start, but I finally learned to let it go. And I think that he's just very emotionally intelligent, and I think I have a musical for his stuff. I know his music so well that I really think I could create like a musical. So anyway, yeah, that's sort of my big dream about it. A lot of people are personally different from their songwriting because, I mean, it's a conversation for a different day. Joe says some of the most fucked up people make the best art. I get it. Yeah. And I think it's not even fucked up people, but it's like when you live a life that's like, oh my God, this is going to sound so dumb, but you know what? Blondie cheats too. So it's like, when you live a life that is very morally correct, and your job is to write about your personal life, it can get very boring. And so it's actually beneficial to you to really play in that gray area and to live in that gray area and potentially even leave it to a more darker hue. A lot of people like myself thrive on putting characters into like their own sort of mayhem and situations and exploring it that way as a mental exercise. But especially for musicians who are known as singer-songwriters, like, you know, you're not really going to be able to write drama if you haven't lived drama. Not that what John Mayer did is drama. I'm just saying that there is this desire to push the envelope because it's like, okay, what am I going to write about? And I love this idea of Taylor Swift being like, okay, I wrote about these fictional characters. They are not me. They are me, like, creating something new. And the problem with that is that fans are like, no, this has to be based on real life. And I know you better than you know yourself. And I know artist intent. And I think that's the issue with being like a singer-songwriter. You don't really get that separation between church and state. which is I feel like as a musical theater writer or any sort of writer where you maybe are using a pen name and or are writing a bigger literary work, people aren't reading it through the lens of your life specifically. So I think it does allow for a bit more freedom, either to explore yourself, write about stuff that you're struggling with, Jason Robert Brown with the last 5 years, but also just write fictitious work. Girl, I miss music chats. Me too. I do have a lot of music thoughts. I feel like now I'm going to have more than ever. And that says I haven't heard Born and Raised, I don't think. So it goes, shit, what's the name of that first album? Anyway, it's the first major release with Your Body's a Wonderland. Ugh. And that album is fine. It has one of my favorite songs, one of the great comedy songs, truly a comedy song, in the classical sense. But then you have Heavier Things, Continuum, which is one of the all-time great albums of all time. Then you have Battle Studies, which I actually quite enjoy, and that's when he got canceled back in before the age of cancellation. And then Born and Raised came out of that. Paradise Valley, which was very bad. I mean, I feel like if I listen to it now, I might like it, but at the time it came out, it was bad. And he has a duet with Katy Perry, who he had an on-and-off relationship with, and it's not good. But I actually love a lot of the songs from the release after that, which I think is called The Search for Everything. And then the latest album, I'm not very much into the 80s, so it's never really been for me. But yeah, Born and Raised is like my number one. It's the most slept on John Mayer album. If you like 60s, 70s singer-songwriter, that is it. I would compare John Mayer's Born and Raised in terms of songwriting and guitar playing to one of my all-time favorite singer-songwriters, aka the person who wrote If I Could Read Your Mind, Love, Gordon Lightfoot. One of the great Canadians. In my opinion, it's Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, and Gordon Lightfoot, and they are equals in terms of like Canadian exports of that era. All right. Room for Squares. Thank you. Yes. Joe says, a public opinion, I don't like the love triangle story in the songs of Folklore. I don't like any of those songs. I don't like Cardigan. It's fine. I actually prefer the demo to the final version. I don't like Betty. And August is a song that's so good, it does not need the trilogy to exist. Nat says she kind of played into confessional songwriting early on and now it's out of control. I think it's that kind of feeling like she can't date like some trashy dude like Matthew Healy because it's like she has mythologized herself to the point where she can no longer just be a human being. And, there's the perks of that. And then there's like the lows of that. And I'm assuming that, she's probably somewhere in the middle of that. And so I think that there is something to be said for that. Confessional songwriting, though, nobody does it like her anymore. Nobody's doing confessional songwriting like Taylor Swift right now. And just nobody's writing at that level. Even at the teenage level, she was writing so much more. Joe says, Room for Square is the only one I actually owned. The only album I've ever bought with my own money that wasn't like a musical theater cast album was John Mayer's Continuum. I was on like a college choir tour. I had no money to my name. I had literally $5. The album was on sale for $1.99. And instead of eating that day, instead of like getting like a decent meal that day, I got a Mac chicken and I bought that and tried to download it using the like McDonald's Wi-Fi. Looking back, there were some cute guys trying to talk to me that were in choir with me, and I just ignored them because I was like so stressed about being poor that I didn't get that they were just trying to talk to me and be nice. I was like, people are going to bully me for being poor, which they did. Undergrad was horrible. But yeah, there is this thing of like, maybe I should have like not been so worried. But yeah, no, that's the Continuum is one of those albums that I can probably sing all the way through. I hyperfixated on that album so intensely that I listened to it exclusively for 3 months, every day, morning and night, my sophomore year, my spring semester sophomore year. Like after I got back from choir tour, which must have been spring break, so like March, I listened to it every single day, front to back. That album has no skips, front to back every day for 3 months. Every day, multiple times a day. Spotify was not a thing back then. That's how old I'm talking. So like if I had a CD, that thing would have been scratched up. Me with Taylor Swift now. Inside Want Out, which is the EP. That was a good EP. He had a co-writer at the time though. So I'm always a bit nefarious, like not nefarious, but I'm always a bit like about giving like full credit to artists when they have a really strong co-writer. John Mayer had a very strong co-writer at the time. Gordon Lightfoot. I really don't like Betty. I think it's the weakest of the trilogy, and honestly, it's a skip. Folklore, it's just not a good song. And I think it's because it's too much feeling, too much tell instead of show. Whereas August is way more show than tell. I love that we're all the Joe, like Betty anti-fans. When that song came on the radio, I would change the radio station. I have that song blocked on my Spotify. Okay. It's my least favorite. Okay, let me look at Folklore right now. Folklore, Evermore, Midnight. Folklore. Okay, on Folklore. This is how you know I'm not even kidding. I love The Great American Dynasty, but it does not flow in this album. Like, it's like if you write a musical, you have songs that you love to listen to, and then you have the comedy song that is like great to see in performance, but not the vibe to listen to on your headphones. That's The Last Great American Dynasty. I think it's one of the greatest songs ever written. I do not want to listen to it. Same vibe, no body, no crime. That song is hilarious and very smartly written, but not a song that I want to listen to on my headphones all the time. Although right now I'm obsessed with it. That one is fine. Anyway, so my ideal track list is Exile, My Tears, Ricochet, Mirrorball, 7, August, This Is Me Trying, Illicit Affairs. All that is a banger. That is like 7 songs in a row, no skips. I always skip Invisible String because the lyrics are so clunky in the second verse. How does that one go? Something, something in the yogurt shop. Something, 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 something. Ugh. Mad Woman's good. Epiphany, ugh. Maybe Epiphany's fine. Peace is good. Is Epiphany the one about the fucking World War II vets? I hated that. I still stand by that. I made a review of Folklore at the time. I got so much heat from that from the Swifties. I stand by that. Betty sucks. Peace has grown on me over the years. I think especially because of the career and the kind of woman that I am. Hoax is fine. The Lakes grew on me. I don't listen to the long pond sessions. I don't listen to live versions. Oh my God, not JC. Gasp. Being a Betty defender. I like Betty. I love all of Folklore. So it's like Evermore is my favorite album, but This Is Me Trying is my favorite Taylor Swift song. Like 7 is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. And so it's like crazy because Folklore has so many hits, but it also has some serious skips. It is a minefield. Yeah, Betty is my least favorite. I think I've heard it exactly one time. For me, it's the way the character keeps trying to deflect responsibility. James is trash. I think she does capture that male youth pretty well, where like girls are asked to grow up so fast, but men are not. And I think that that's actually good writing to me. What I think the issue is that nobody ever calls James out in text, right? So like you have August, Betty, and Cardigan, and the girls have already sort of reflected on the breakup, and the dude is active, right? Trying to like get something to happen, but none of the other 2 girls are active in a response. So I think that that's why he sort of gets let off a bit easily, because there just isn't an active response to what James has presented. Because August is a memory song, and Cardigan is definitely like a solemn song after the whole debate happens. Y'all, we got to do a folklore track rating on the Discord. Absolutely. See, tier list. Really? I just think the World War II line is so clunky. It just takes me out of the moment so fast. Betty does not suck. We have a Betty defender in the comments. I like Epiphany sonically, but lyrically I go back and forth. I think sonically it's boring too. She did this much more successfully on Evermore. It just does not quite hit on folklore. Joe says, for me, it's the line, I slept next to her, but I dreamt of you all summer long. That's awful for both girls. It arranges me. But it's true. I feel like that's a really true sentiment. And I think we're supposed to be morally conflicted about this. It's one of those things where it's like, for example, like in my show, Megan is a scammer. And so it's like, do we forgive her? Right? Like, does what she did that's morally wrong deserve forgiveness? And so this, to me, it's just like, that's whatever. That is like, you know, I dreamt of you all summer long, but I slept next to her. I don't know. It is awful for both girls, but I think that if in either position, I think like one of them doesn't know that, right? Like August, she doesn't know that, but the other girl does know that. And that's honestly probably a win for her. I don't know. It's not good, but it's also not true. Like that 100% happens. I still love you, Mike. I forgive you. I still love you too. But just know, I mean, we got to have some beef sometime, you know? Nat says, Evermore is a more even album. Folklore has higher highs and lower lows, 100%. Evermore has almost no skips. But the Folklore highs are incredible. Like the run from This Is Me Trying all the way down to Illicit Affairs, no skips. And that's like 7 songs of like equal caliber, equal highs. But having to sit through Cardigan, honestly, the fact that Cardigan has 4 verses is unforgivable because I don't need to hear that. Choruses. I know you. You're not giving me enough information. Also in the long pun, she says she thinks James and Betty end up together, and I can just not get with that. I do think they end up together too. I'm telling you, Blondie's a cheater. So like, what's the beef? I don't know. To me, it's like, yeah, it's not morally correct, but it's not unheard of. And they're also so young. Like if they were in their 30s, I'd be like, this is unforgivable. They're like 16. They're not even old enough for prom at this point. Although I love that she's like, in August, she's like wine. And so I've always seen the third girl as much older than James, just because of the wine line. Ned says, but I also think Speak Now is more even than Red. I don't know any of those albums. Joe, oh my God, I refuse to accept her saying that. I am not conflicted. I would burn that man. I love the beef. I rarely listen to these songs, so my opinions are just so basic. I forgive you. But it does not suck. I stand by that. Oh my God, you don't like Cardigan either? I don't. August is the only good song of the trilogy, and it's the only song that stands fine on its own. Okay, but the running like a father line, though, that gives me the creeps. Water, loving like father. There's a line in there where she says loving like a father or whatever, or brother. I can't remember. I'm like, ooh, that incest relationship, yuckers. Joe says, I would be fine with it if they were apart to grow up for like a decade. Maybe a year. But I'm okay with that. Do I think that James is convincing enough for Betty to take him back at the party? I don't think so, though. So I do think it's like, it's going to be some time before they do. In Betty, he calls her friend stupid, too. Honestly, and I'm sorry if there are any white women in this stream right now, some of y'all date Trump supporters. So calling her friend stupid is probably not that good. Let's all cage match. I'm in. Joe says, no, she says, leaving like a father. That I like. But I think there's another song where she's like something brother. That I'm like, ooh. Love him like a brother is from Reputation. Thank you. Every time that song comes up, I'm like, what? To be real, my beef is with the story, not the song. Okay, we definitely have writers in the chat. All right, gang. This was fun. I did not expect to do Micah's Music Corner. It's been a while since we've had any sort of serious music chat, but this was fun. It is 3:30 in the morning in the East Coast right now, and I need to go to bed because I have to. Well, I mean, I don't have to wake up early tomorrow. Actually, I have an appointment at 2:00, so I could wake up at like 10 and be fine. But your girl has a lot of writing to do tomorrow, and I hope you all will as well. I don't know when I'm going to stream next, but if you want to know, set up your notifications for YouTube or follow me on Discord or on. Actually, I didn't share this on Instagram. This is just for the locals. So with that, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Act 2 is being written tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be on stream, but I will be writing Act 2 tomorrow, and that is something that I was hoping would happen tonight, but I'm glad that it did. Yeah, East Coast crew, baby. JC says, it tells us a story and invokes emotions, so that makes it a great song. That's true. Great art evokes great art evokes a reaction, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one that you like, but that's a definition of great art. I don't know if it's true, but it is a definition. All right, my friends, but the emotion is rage. Mwah. Thank you all so much for crashing with me. Now let's all go to bed, because even in the West Coast, it's late right now. I love y'all. Goodbye. Miss Marin is so grumpy with me. Look at her. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. And broadcast.